Well, hello there. Welcome back, my global thespians. The good crazy, here we are at the Kevin E, the channel. Myself, Kevin E. West, veteran television actor, and the content library, which is Q-tips. Now, today, I don't typically say this, and I even say it with a certain degree of reticence, but today is a little bit more specific in that this video I'm specifically putting together for the parents out there. Hold up, don't just hit stop and go on yet, okay? Just because you may not be a parent, what if you happen to be a younger person who has parents that are assisting them in any way, financial support, whatever it may be, towards pursuing or trying to become a working actor? You might want to listen to what it is I've now said to them about you and about helping you. If you're a parent, please hang with me. And it doesn't matter whether the parent is a toddler, 10, 15, 17, 22, still at home. Doesn't matter. And also, if you think about this, where there's this old question out on social media all over the place that constantly ask, if you could, what would your 45-year-old self or your 40-year-old self or your 50-year-old self say to your 18-year-old self today? Okay, so think about that as I present this video content that's geared towards parents, because you guys are up. And I want you guys to understand that I spent a good decade of my life, almost on an annual basis, going around to various parts of the United States. And I've spoken in Sweden. And I've spoken in Kiev, not a joke. I've spoken at events, expos, and also just at the Actors Network for nearly 24 years. But I've encountered a lot of parents along the way. I know a lot of the really gross pitfalls that parents face. Because yes, some parents have some education about the business of show business, but almost overwhelmingly, almost all the time, the truth of the matter is you don't. And part of what I'm about, part of what I've always been about, is the fact that when you know what your job description is and you don't know a lot about something else, it can blind you a little bit. Because a parent's job, of course, is to promote their child, but also at the same time protect them, no matter what their age may be, especially in a profession like this. And I completely get this. But also to that point, parents, I need you to hear that a lot of times in life, we tend to believe that just based on someone's age, that someone knows more than somebody else. And I'm here to tell you that is not true in the business of show business. I have a running joke in Los Angeles, and again, I joke with my friends on this, so it's not so much a joke at as it's a joke near. That just because you've been in Los Angeles with a headshot breathing for 10 years doesn't mean you actually know anything more than you knew 10 years ago. Or at least that I don't presume you know as much as you could know after 10 years. There are 10-year-olds in this profession who understand and know the business and are more professional than 40-year-olds I know. So this is not one of those professions, and this is not one of those forms of education that just purely exist based on time or based on age, and it's important that we get down with this. But what this profession is, and man, oh man, I've consulted parents, I've done seminars to parents and kids sitting together, yes, while still cursing a little, not so much, but just in a funny way. You have to understand, whatever profession you're in, whether it's both parents, one parent, doesn't matter which gender, I don't care about these things. Show business, and I mean specifically in the context of my library, Q-tips and the Kevin E, in the vein of performance entertainment acting in some way, using your physical human body to do entertainment, is a multinational, multi-billion-dollar business that involves W-2s and loan-out corporations and unions and taxes and contracts that don't have out clauses if you aren't paying attention, and that have professional meetings, that have professional breakups. There's all sorts of landmines just waiting in the business of show business for your kid. And unfortunately, if you choose to view working in show business differently to an extreme, rather than the business you've known your whole life or just the general concept you have on business, this is why I'm doing this video right now, because you are making a huge mistake. We need to vet people the same way you vet a pair of shoes, ladies, or the same way you vet a car, men. And yes, I specifically did that as gender identity on purpose. Hopefully you're laughing, because guys buy shoes and women buy cars too. How about just buying a house? How about just that? How about those big, thick contracts of all that loan mortgage stuff you have to do? Guess what? When somebody stars in a TV show, when somebody is a lead in a movie, and all of their contract includes marketing and promotion and possible merchandise, because they might make a bobblehead out of you if it's a Marvel I'm just saying, contract is 50 pages long. This is a profession, y'all. I've been saying it for decades and decades and decades. Yeah, 3 of them. It's not a lemonade stand. This isn't something where you just pass the time on a Sunday to keep the kids busy, to give them some powdered lemonade and, 2 things and a table, and you just go out and sell it for $1, because that does still happen in America, and I'm sure other places in the globe all the time. Hollywood. And again, always remember, here with me, the Kevin E. and Q-Tips, Hollywood is now a transcendent metaphor. It's any place that professional performers are being paid to perform. That's Hollywood today. Hollywood's not a lemonade stand, man. Okay? It's not. If you take it that way, if you forget all of your basic business principles because you think somehow it's different, then you're going to wind up making a mistake, parents, for your kids. When somebody asks you to pay them to represent you, no, that's not correct. We don't pay people to represent us. They make commission when we work. And there's going to be dozens and dozens of these things that come to pass down the road. I've known plenty of people who've gone and made the effort to represent their kids themselves. Some of them chose to learn the business, yay, and some of them didn't, mistake. There's a lot of things you can't assume. There's a lot of regulations and guidelines. It doesn't matter whether it's union, non-union, state, city, it doesn't matter. What I'm sharing with you is you either are going to dive in and try to do this 100% yourself, which is fine, or you need to understand there's a lot of BS that's really easy to do in this profession from people who are not so, let's say, as sincere or educated as I am, that makes it really easy to pull the wool over your eyes, even when you may be extremely educated and sometimes even worse, very successful. Because $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 for something may not strike you as a lot of money in comparison to going to college, which is why you heard in the last video me reference a 4-year university. Again, these videos all go together, even when this one's for parents. So just know, we do not have to pursue this for money. But if you want your child to take this on, I'm begging and encouraging you to understand that the business of show business is very, 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 very similar to the same way business is set up around the world, okay? It just is. So trust and know that, and then follow along. Make sure you subscribe, because I want the parents to be just as educated as their kids about this. Go to kevinewest.com. My book's right there. I'm just saying, it's right there. Look at the blog. Follow me on Instagram, the Kevin E. Also, the Actors Network's on Instagram. You can go there as well. and take to heart what I'm saying and catch the next video. Kevin E. West signing off. See y'all soon.